There is no money in snail farming. It shock you. Are you surprised? Now, this is the truth. You don't make money because you are a snail farmer. No, forget it. Now, so many people come into snail farming with this mindset of as a snail farmer, you start making millions, you start making money. No, you won't make a dime because you are a snail farmer. Now, let me break it down. You don't make money because you own a farm. All right? You are not into snail farming to own a farm. Now, you make money from snail farming by rendering either services or selling goods. Yes, you make money in snail farming either by selling your services or by selling your product, not because you own a farm. So snail farming don't make you money. It is what you do as a snail farmer that makes you make money. If you own a snail farm, now let me talk to those persons that come into snail farming with 100 snails or 200 snails, and in few months they start displaying babies, and in their mindset the money is already coming. No, the truth is, with your 100 snails, with your 200 snails, you are still practicing. Even you are not ready for the business yet, because 200 snails is not enough to start up a market. Why do I say so? Now, there are people that oven dry your whole farm quantity in a bag. Now, imagining you have a client that wants 200 snails, and 200 snails is what you have in your farm. You're out of business, because people bag even more than 200 in a single supply. So making money is not instant farming. Making money is selling product, rendering services in snail farming. So even if you have 1 million snails, or let's say 10,000 snails or 100,000 snails, as a farmer, you still won't make money. Yes, you still won't make money, because you are not making money because you own the farm. You will only make money when this your snails, this your product can be sold, or when they are sold. Does it make sense? Now, you have 10,000 snails and you are not selling. Money is not coming. So you don't make money because you own a farm. You make money because you are able to sell your product or your services to others in exchange for their money. Yes, that is when the money starts coming into your pocket. That is when the money starts coming into your account. So don't say you own a farm, because of that you are supposed to be making millions. No, you own a farm. Yes. How would this money come? From selling products. Now, if all you have is 100 pieces of snails or 200 pieces of snails, please increase your stocking. Because one truth about snail farming is the money is in the numbers. The money in snail farming is in the numbers of snails you have, the quantity of snails you can deliver, the quantity of snails you can offer at every time. In that, what makes you make money from the system, not because you own a farm. If you have a client that wants 100 pieces today, you could supply. He wants 200 tomorrow, you supplied. He wants more, you keep supplying. That customer, that client will keep coming back to you. But when you have a client that comes in for 100 pieces of snails, you were able to supply. It comes back again a day or so, he wants another set and you are unable. When he wants to buy the third set, he's not going to call on you. He's going to look for another person, another farmer to get the snails from. So making money in snail farming is in the product, in the services. What are you doing? Are you just rearing your snails with a mindset of the buyers will come to you? Now, if you are not showcasing, if you are not showing the client, the world, what you have, nobody's going to know what you have. Yes, because you have to display your your business for other people to buy into it. So if you have in this calculation, I can tell you for free that somebody that has even 100 snails or 200 snails might make more money than somebody that has 10,000 snails if their marketing strategy is in different parts. Now you have 10,000 snails and nobody knows about you. Nobody knows you own a farm. Nobody knows you have snails. Nobody's going to buy from you. Now somebody that has 100 snails or 200 snails and is out there, visibility is on the high side. When somebody wants to buy, he gets from his stock and supply. When the person wants more, he does what we call the buying and selling. He meets another farmer that also has snails and get for that person. Or he could even go to the market and also buy and supply the person. The fact that the person is consuming, he gets them from the market. He also gets paid for doing that. So have your niche very right. All right. In snail farming, the money that we make from it is not basically because you are rearing snail. It is behind rearing the snails, right? You rear the snails to sell off at different ages and timing. And then you should also know that in supplying your snails, there are different categories of people that needs different ages and sizes. So you need to carve out who are your market target. Who are you supplying? Are you supplying the final user? Are you supplying a farmer? Are you processing them yourself? Are you doing the start to finish? Start to finish meaning that you're rearing them from the beginning to the end to jumbo and you are processing it back to consumers. Which are you doing? If you are unable to define your market target, then you keep just rearing snails. And then you come back and say the business is not lucrative. The business is lucrative. The business has always been lucrative. The difference is that some persons just want to keep snails, and some persons are more like snake kidnappers. Yes, they are more like snake kidnappers. How do I mean? They just pick snails randomly and just keep them in a pen or whatever and just throw in grasses, leaves and fruit, and you expect those snails to give you the best outcome. It's not going to happen. It's going to take a longer period and a longer time to get results. And then we also have some persons that um rear different species with different expectations. Now, if you are rearing Achatina marginata and your expectation is Ashantina, then you have lost it 100%. How do I mean? Achatina marginata lays less. Ashantina lays more. Now, you've seen some videos online where people talk about if you start off with 1,000 snails or 100 snails, between 6 months, 1 year, you've gotten millions of snails, thousands of snails. Now, this calculation is correct to certain species of snails. It is not an all-round correct information when it comes to snail farming, because there are snails that lay less and there are snails that lays much. And because they lay differently, you need to understand which of them you are rearing, so your expectations are not cut short. One part where most farmers get it all wrong is that they want to come into snail farming with a short-term mentality. You come into snail farm and in a year you want to turn to the Dangote of your time. I wish you the best of luck. But the truth is, in snail farming, you need patience, you need timing to get it right. Now, when you have the understanding, you have the timing, if you put in much, you don't need extra long time to harvest more. Because at this point, you already have experience, you already have knowledge. Now, imagining somebody that has been practicing and is okay, he has tested the water, is good to go, right? Let's assume he started with snails under 500 in his practicing period and all that. He has covered his market, his niches, when to sell, right? Now, you stock your farm with 10,000 pieces of snails or 20,000 pieces of snails. This person can actually start making sales in the same year because he has understood the snail farming process. He knows how to feed, he knows how to breed, he knows how many snails. Your expectation will not be cut off because you already know the species you've been dealing with, you know the numbers you stock, so your expectation can be right, or will be right rather. Now, you already know that this snail is going to be giving you, for instance, 5 eggs, and then you work on 3 eggs in your calculation. Now, this expectation will be fulfilled because you are not doing 100% calculation, but rather you're doing a plus and minus that this or that, this will work. So that works. So after your calculations, if you put in more snails, there is that tendency that you can actually also make sales in the same year. This is to say that when we say patience, it doesn't mean you have to be patient all through your snail farming period or all through your snail farming timing. There's a timing you will get to in the system. You can start making sales every now and then in the year because you have the breeders that are doing the jobs. You have the experience that is pushing you. You have that knowledge that is piloting the process. And above all, you have a market target. You have the people you are targeting. You are targeting new farmers, you know you're selling them 5 to 6 months. You're targeting consumers, you know you're selling them between 8, 9, 10 months. You're targeting, you can actually calculate when to sell. So you know when to sell off your old layers. That is, your breeders are no longer giving you the required amount of eggs you need. So you can sell those ones off and your business is still going. So when I say there is no money in snail farming, it is because if you rely on farming the snails without putting the marketing strategy in place, you keep revolving and revolving in one spot. So in snail farming, there is no money. But in snail farming business, that is where the money is, because you can sell your snails, you can sell your shells, you can sell the snails, you can sell the shells, you can sell the slime, you can sell feed, you can sell services, you can sell training materials, you can set up farms, you can be a consultant, you can sell the byproducts of snails. Those are where the money comes from when you're talking about a snail farmer. So if you're doing something outside of this, know that you're not going to make money. But if you want to make money, then you should be doing all of this or some of this. Well, you can be the jack of all trade, or you could just be a master of a part in snail farming. I hope this meets your way. This is Raw Vision Snail Farm, and with cares. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.